All right, let's dive into Rogan.
Rumble offers Joe Rogan $100 million to bring his podcast to the platform. I don't. I saw that it was in a tweet. I believe the whole offer was a tweet. Video sharing platform Rumble has offered the world's biggest podcaster, Joe Rogan, $100 million over 4 years to bring all his old and new episodes to the platform. Now, the reason for this offer is because a lot of episodes have been taken down.
Yeah, over 100 of his.
And it seems like it's still happening. Like they're pruning.
Mm-hmm.
And
Can you imagine that person who's just listening to hours and hours of Rogan?
yeah, they're like, get rid of it.
Yeah.
And what is their threshold? Like, does that person have guidance? Do they have a list of things? Like, if you hear this,
Yeah.
it's gone. There's obviously some keywords that are fairly obvious, but then there's other ones that are more subtle. Like there were people, it was a lot of guests that had previously been on Rogan's show that were complaining that their episode got taken down. Because I was following along on Twitter and in the threads, you would see people that are like, yeah, mine went down too, and please put it back, because these are big promotional opportunities for this variety of guests that goes on there. It appears that a lot of it seemed to start because of the use of the racial terms. I'm obviously not the N-word, which showed up on the show way more times than I was aware of.
Yeah.
But you saw it all clipped together in a
compilation,
a supercut.
Mm-hmm. Like a YTP kind of situation.
And it was on Twitter and it was on YouTube and it was just like, wow, those are all independent times that the word has been said. My understanding is that the majority of, and I have not gone back and listened to all of it, but my understanding is the majority of it was in the context of a quote or talking about the existence of the word itself. It doesn't really matter, especially on the internet, because, it does matter to a certain extent, but on the internet, anything can be chopped into anything.
Of course, yeah.
So, and
even when you half of a word or something, it could be chopped and made into another word.
Anyway, so the point being is it's obviously offensive to a lot of people. And so therefore it requires investigation from Spotify. And I'm surprised that they were all on there anyways, because there were other episodes when he first joined that had been taken down. Mm-hmm. But anyway, he comes on, he goes on social media and apologizes. And there's Instagram doing its weird filter thing again on your browser, which it always does. And here's the thing. He comes out and basically condemns his past behavior. Mm-hmm. And essentially says, I've said a lot of stuff over the amount of time that I've been doing this, which is a really long time as far as internet years are concerned. Oh, he also said a bad joke. That's kind of a key. I think it's the combination of the two things, not just the word, but he also said a bad joke. He thinks it's a bad joke. I think it's a bad joke. Could have been some sort of clumsy combination of things. It doesn't really matter. So that didn't help. A bad racial joke, by the way. But anyway, it's like been one thing after another for Rogan from the COVID to and it really appears at this point that it's piling on. There's a lot of people off with his head. There's a lot of people. If you're on Twitter for any period of time, there's a lot of people out there.
It's been more and more divided, the idea of Joe Rogan.
Holy cow, man. Maybe more than ever.
Yeah.
But anyway, in the meantime, you got this Rumble CEO, Chris Pavlovsky, and he puts this letter with official letterhead. He put that on Twitter, where I saw it, but I guess it's on a webpage too. It's in this article. It's embedded in here. Anyway, here's what it reads. February 7th, 2022. Joe Rogan, dear Joe, we stand with you, your guests, and your legion of fans in desire for real conversation. So we'd like to offer you 100 million reasons to make the world a better place. How about you bring all your shows to Rumble, both old and new, with no censorship for $100 million over 4 years. This is our chance to save the world. And yes, this is totally legit. Sincerely, Chris Pavlovsky.
So for the people who don't know what Rumble is, it's pretty much a podcast platform, which is less censored, I would say. I mean, you can't say whatever you want,
Okay.
but yeah.
Okay, so the last thing I just want to say on this, like, I think it's kind of the way he wrote that. What did he say? He said, just scroll up a little bit. And this is the thing that I feel the need to highlight because I do this. I go over here and I'm just talking and talking and talking. So I just feel the need to put this piece in there, which is real conversations. Real conversations. It's kind of impossible to do that when the cameras are rolling, but you're trying your best, but you are trying. It's an effort thing. And if you do enough of it, you absolutely 100% are going to stumble and you're going to say things and you're going to make noises that you don't like. And there's going to be a gradient to it. But this idea that there is absolutely no path towards retribution, that there's it has to be so binary. If we're living online, if our lives exist online, is it not possible that we can also learn online? Like, in other words, that people can make mistakes online?
I kid. I agree with you.
Like, we're gonna if everything we do is online and recorded, and we go back over the years and look at everything that anybody has ever done, who's left, man? Who's left? And humans have talked about this concept in various ways for a long time. That what is the idea? It's like a parable or something. He who is without sin cast the first stone. Like, whoever's perfect, you let's see who's perfect. Let's hear from you, because I don't know. I haven't met that person yet.
Yeah.
Not if they're being honest. And it probably sounds like I'm making excuses right now, but I got kids growing up, and I'm so careful with the internet, man. If we all got to live there, we all got to be there. I don't know. I just like leeway on all sides. On all sides. I'm even talking whoopee leeway. Sure, I don't care what side of the political spectrum it is, Will. Just, leeway. Like, people, especially if people come out and say, I didn't like what I said. Now that I've given it more consideration, or now that I listen back to it, or now that it's 5 years later, or whatever. Mo, am I crazy, man?
No, you're good.
Can people improve? Can people change?
Yeah.
Can people apologize? Can people be forgiven?
Absolutely. But I also see value in pointing out, having the big reaction.
Having dialogue
Yeah.
in general.
Yep.
Mo's like, stop talking to me. Mo's like, I'm making thumbnails right now. He's like, yep. It was like the earlier.
Okay.
It was like the earlier question I asked him.